Yes, ma'am. Carry on.
Okay. Very good afternoon to all the participants. Myself, Akanksha, joining you back for this FDP. Today we have Mr. Prashant Kumar Gupta working as an assistant professor in Electronics Communication Department. He is a CEO of Atal Community Innovation Center, which was supported by Niti Aayog Government of India. And he's having 10 years of teaching experience and more than 4 years of research experience. Such a renowned personality we have right with us, and he is having the BTech degree in Electronics and Communication. And we have today's he is going to throw a light upon certain technical aspects. So I am requesting sir to please continue.
Am I audible? Hello?
Yes,
Hello?
sir. Yes, sir. You are audible. Please continue.
My slides are coming?
Yes, yes. It's okay, sir.
All right. Well, thank you for inviting me for this talk. And I'm Prashant Kumar Gupta, CEO of ACIC MITmeerut Foundation. And today here I'm just give you introduction of our innovation facilities. So especially we are having two facilities, AICT Idea Lab and ACIC MIT Meerut Foundation. So initially I will start with the AICT Idea Lab MIT. So this innovation facility is created with the help of AICTE and MIT joint venture, and the main goal of this lab is to convert the student creative ideas in form of Bible prototypes. So as the name suggests, idea development, evaluation and application lab. So in this lab, we invite our MIT students to convert their ideas in form of prototypes. So these are the main objectives of Idea Lab, to sputter the culture of innovation among the students and other stakeholders. So what are our other stakeholders? MIT student, MIT faculties, and some of our industry partners. And to motivate a student to ideate and pursue creativity, and train the student to become imaginative, creative, capable of converting their ideas into prototypes. So basically we also provide different state of arts training under this Idea Lab, like on cutting edge technologies like Internet of Things, or CNC routing machine, or CO2 laser cutting machine, and fiber laser machines. And thereafter to provide all possible facilities under one roof for converting their ideas in form of reality. Like we are having all state of art equipments under one roof, since what we feel that in one project there may be n number of skill sets are required. So all the facilities related to the projects are available under this AICT Idea Lab. And thereafter to create a wide range of creative ideas and concepts across various domains and industries, address real world challenges and problems through innovative solutions and approaches. So further, I just want to show you some of cutting edge tools which we are having in our facility. So this is a 3D printer which print the object layer by layer in 3 dimensions, X, Y, and Z. So whatever the design we want to design, we simply design it on a CAD tool, and thereafter we import it on this 3D printer. So we can see that we can mimic or we can create a 3D objects from various domains, like they are from medical field. You can see some of implants. So these are some prototypes related to the construction field. These are from some aerospace industry. And this second equipment is a CO2 laser cutting machine. Basically, this is used to engrave and cutting the MDF sheets for a prototyping purpose. So these are some objects which we have created here in our facility by the students. These are some products also fabricated by our students. These are again some products also created by a student. But yes, you can see that the material is same here. The material used is MDF, and in previous slide, this is acrylic. These are some other acrylic based products. So this is next machine, that is called a CNC routing machine. And this machine is again used to fabricate different prototype applications. So these are some applications which we have fabricated in our facility. So this is the third machine, which is again very useful. That is fiber laser machine. So we do the application of this machine to fabricate the PCBs. So this is one of very versatile machine through which we can very fast prototyping of PCBs. So idea is very simple. In this machine, we use a laser, and that laser simply oxidize the copper, unwanted copper. Means the same PCB can be fabricated with the help of chemical route, but in that we are having a problem, like we use some toxic chemicals. But in this case, not only we are avoiding the use of chemical, but also the prototyping is very fast. So through this slide, I have cleared that what is the working of Idea Lab and how the student can connect from this lab, and what are the equipments that we are having under this lab. And now thereafter, I am going to discuss about the ACIC MITmeerut Foundation. So this ACIC MITmeerut Foundation is basically a Section 8 company, Atal Community Innovation Center, supported by the Government of India. So these are the main pillars of ACIC. In ACIC, on 3 points, especially we do work. Basically, the main purpose of this ACIC is to convert the idea in form of prototype, and thereafter in form of enterprises. So first pillar is grassroots innovator. Thereafter, to strengthen the ATLs to work with the self-help groups. So first one is, who are grassroots innovators? Means those innovators who are having no educational backgrounds, but they are having some skill sets or a jugaad kind of things, so that they can convert their ideas in form of viable products. So in ACIC, what we do, we invite or nurture such kind of grassroots innovators, so that we can convert their grassroots ideas in form of useful products. Thereafter, the again very most important pillar of this ACIC is to strengthen the ATLs. So basically, this ACIC is run under the AIM mission, Atal Innovation Mission. So like ACIC, ATL is also a mission of AIM, Niti Aayog, Atal Innovation Mission, Niti Aayog. So what is this ATL? ATL is nothing but Atal Tinkering Labs in schools to nurture the culture of innovation at school levels. So the main again responsibility of ACIC is to strengthen the ATL at school level. So what we do, we conduct various activities in different schools in nearby areas, and through these activities we extract the innovative minds or innovative students. And again the idea is same, and idea is same, to bring those innovators or those innovative students here. And again we provide all 360-degree support to convert their ideas in form of Bible products. And thereafter, a third pillar of this ACIC is to work with the self-help groups. So what are these self-help groups? These are those groups of women's and men's at village areas which are having some innovative skill sets. So we contact them and we work with these self-help groups so that their creativity or their skill sets can become an enterprise. So idea of ACIC is very simple. We try to find out the innovators and convert their innovative ideas in form of prototype and further business. So this is the financial sustainability. We raise the funds through the consultancy from the MSMEs or nearby industries. We also provide the paid trainings to the HEIs or higher educational institutes or polytechnic institutes or schools and industries. And thereafter, like whatever we nurture, either grassroots innovators or innovators from ATLs or innovators from the self-help groups, we convert their ideas in form of prototypes and further business. And from their business or from their innovations, we take some mistakes so that I can make this entire system as a self-sustainable system. Now, these are the glimpse of some self-help groups which are present nearby Meerut in village areas. So this is about some our grassroots innovator. He is Gangaram Chauhan, a very creative innovator. He created a paddle-driven wheat flour machine. He is Vivek Kumar Patel. He have developed a machine that simply create a electricity with the help of bulls or ox, which render in village areas here and there. And thereafter, Satendra, Nagar and Seema. One thing I would like to mention about them, that these couple are 80% handicapped, but still they were having willingness to convert their ideas in form of reality. What they do, they simply create innovative products with the help of cow dung and their urine, and they have generated a massive revenue from their venture. So this is again one aspect of ACIC, that is Community Innovation Fellowship. Basically, this fellowship generally gives to those innovators which are having some creative ideas, those who are just graduate and are in the 30-kilometer radius of this ACIC center. Thank you. So this is a very small presentation about the AICT Idea Lab and ACIC. And now thereafter, I will show you the virtual. Hello, am I audible? Hello, am I audible? Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, now thereafter, we are going for some virtual visit of these facilities. Hello? Hello? Am I audible? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir, you are audible. Yes. Sir.
Now you can see that this is basically a facility where we provide a support related to the electrical and mechanical work. So here you can see that we are having a mechanical and electrical equipments here. Now this is a seminar room specially dedicated for the design thinking. Here we provide a design thinking training. This is nothing but simply a very systematic method how to innovate. So these are some objects which have been fabricated by our student.
So you can
These
please
are very
stop at
fine
a
products.
place.
Pardon, ma'am?
Stop at a place and please show it means closely to the participants here that yes, how the fabrication and how this printing help them to make the things.
All right. Thereafter, I'll come on that machine part. Initially, I'll show you that the equipments, prototypes, which have been fabricated with the help of our students. Visible or not?
Yes, it is.
All the beautiful designs were fabricated by the MBA student or BTech students. Look at this. Some acrylic and lighting work. And the special thing about this that all work done by our MIT students. Look at this Ram Mandir. See, entire work related to cutting, design, and prototyping done in AICT by our MIT student. And again, these objects fabricated by foam sheet by CNC routing machine. All the decorative item imagined, designed on CAD tools, entire lighting work done by our students. See, all the beautiful designs. Now I'm moving towards the robotics and IoT section. This section is entirely dedicated for robotics and IoT application based products. So all the robots and IoT based product have been fabricated and job done by our students. This is the product or this is the project based on drip irrigation technology, and this is vinyl cutting machine specially used for stickering the product to make product more attractive. Now this is a 3D printer. In slide I have shown you only one 3D printer. So here we are having three 3D printer in our lab. So this was presented in the lab. This entire section is dedicated for the 3D printing. So these are the live objects which we have fabricated with the help of 3D printer. Look at this. This is skeleton for medical student. This is spider for especially school students. Look at this. Now for school student, we also fabricate such kind of models. So this model is converting the mechanical energy into electrical energy to more clear the concepts. So this is the working area where students do work, electronic and IoT related project. This beautiful structure of Lord Buddha fabricated with the help of 3D printer. Now this entire computing section is dedicated for the CAD design and PCB fabrication, PCB design. Now again we are the next section of this lab. Now this is a very rich inventory of electronic components. So when a student comes in this lab, we evaluate their idea, and on the basis of that project, we issue the different components. And also you can see like some component is missing, then on urgent basis, we also order the project component. Now we are moving towards the equipment section. So this is the raw material. So this is our CO2 laser cutting machine, which I've shown in slide. So here you can see that the laser is mounted here. This is the laser. So whatever the design we want to fabricate, we do it on CAD software. So this is a very systematic representation of materials which we use in laser cutting machine. MDF, medium density fiber board, acrylic sheet, and mirror acrylic sheets. So there are different kind of acrylic sheets or mirror acrylic sheets and MDF sheets. So for student better understanding, we have represented it very systematically here. And for CAD design, dedicated system is allocated here. And now this is the CNC. And this is a lathe machine. And this is the fiber laser machine, which we use to fabricate the PCs. Look at it. This is one of the finest machine. Especially this machine is designed in idea, and we have filed the utility patent for this. So I can show you some of fabricated PCB. Is it clear? Is it clear? So this is about the AICT Idea Lab, and this entire facility is dedicated for the training of MIT student and to sputter the culture of innovation among the MIT students. And now we are moving towards the ACIC MIT-Meerut Foundation facility. on the way. It will take few minutes. Now, this facility is of ACIC, Atal Community Innovation Center. So all the mechanical work we do here. And this is one of innovation created by one of innovator in MIT ACIC facility. Basically, the main work of this machine is to extract the fiber from bhang tree, and from that fiber we can create a different things. So basically, we are going to deploy this machine to our self-help group so that they can utilize this machine and can extract some money. And again, this CNC routing machine, which is also available in ACIC facility. This is CO2 laser cutting machine, but in ACIC, this machine is especially having two laser nozzles. Since in ACIC we do consultancy work, so here we need a very fast prototyping. So you can see that this is the raw material. We fabricate the panel for some electronic industry. Now we are going towards the area for grassroots innovators. Now he is one of our very dynamic grassroots innovator, Mr. Ram Milanji, and he have made a very easy hand-driven drill machine. You can see that this is very easy working, and through hand we can do a drill in a very thick metal sheet, which is practically possible with the help of heavy electrical drill machine. But with this machine, with this hand-driven machine, we can do it by simple mechanically hand-driven machine. This is one of other innovation done by Mr. Ramilanji. This is basically a speed dibbler machine. This is under process, under construction. Now, this is the cycle-driven atta chakki. Like in hill areas, we generally face a problem of electricity, but in that area, this cycle may be a very useful. This is also a cycle-driven seed dibbler machine. Now we are moving towards another facility to show some more innovation. Now this is the Maker's Lab, another facility. So this is a travel bag which provides mobile charging port. So here we are having a simply generator. When we rotate it, it generates a mechanical energy into electrical energy. Now these are GSM inbuilt, like in mountain area under avalanche. What happens? Our soldiers just missed in that avalanche. So through this GPS system, we can get the exact location. Now this is the robotic arm. These are GSM inbuilt keys for building safety. So basically what happens under any critical situation, ladies just when they open the mobile, it takes time. So we have given a switch here. Look at this. This once the switch is pressed, the GPS location is sent to their near and dear one, so that quick action can be taken place. And this is a slingshot created by grassroots innovator. Again, this is a handbag, GSM enabled. And these are solar powered lights. Automatically they charge in morning, and at night it will flow automatically. And these are GSM enabled jewelries. So under snatching, they give you a location. Now this is the prototyping lab. Here you can see a live working of 3D printer. How 3D printing occurs, you can see, as I have told you, that it happens in 3 dimensions, X, Y, and Z dimensions. You can see whatever the object we want to print or we want to design. Initially, we do it on a CAD software, and thereafter we import this design to this 3D printer. So whatever we want to design, that automatically get done with the help of these 3D printers. Now this another machine is for coating the PCBs to protect the degradation from the outer atmosphere. Now this is one of another innovation. Now this is a prosthetic leg, which helps especially those people who have missed their lower limb. So what happened that we have attach this flexible sensor. So this sensor is attached to the lower limb of person, and it gives the indication, and this leg basically rotates and helps the person to drive a bike. Means through this product, those persons who are disabled, they can also ride bike. One more, we are having very nice innovation in ACIC is our radio wave blower. So what is the speciality of this blower is the oxygen depletion is very less. So generally what problem we face when the blowers on in a closed area, it very rapidly reduces the content of oxygen. So in this, we have reduced the depletion of oxygen. So up to this point, we have visited the AICT Idea Lab and ACIC MIT Meerut Foundation. So in nutshell, the main goal of AICT Idea Lab is to train our MIT students on different state-of-art technologies and parallelly to sputter the culture of innovation. Right now, we are training the student, we are giving the problem to the students, but we want a phase where the students become self-motivated and they come to us in majority with innovative ideas for prototyping or for some Bible products. And the main goal of ACIC is to cater or to facilitate outside MIET innovators. They may be grassroots innovators, they may be from schools, either from ATLs or non-ATLs, or self-help group, means some skilled person in village areas having some skill sets, having qualities, having thrust or potential to convert their ideas in Bible like venture or business. Well, thank you. This is from my side. Thank you so much. Over to Madhuri Gupta ma'am. Madhuri ma'am.
Yes, thank you, sir. Need to ask, is there any questions left? I mean, the round is open for the discussion. Any participant is having any kind of question, they can ask, sir. So I guess the doubts were clear. So can I proceed to the second session?
Just a moment, Akanksha. I just wanted to confirm with Madhuri ma'am ki whether the second speaker has joined is ready. Ma'am, can we proceed with the second session? I request all the audience to have patience. We are arranging because this session has been, just ended bit early, and we are just waiting for our next speaker to join. So just have a little bit patience.
So I think all the participants have a very clear view that how the ideal lab is working. So how the ideal lab is working, how all the means ACIC labs are working, and how the prototype is being developed. So means we are having our next speaker in a very short time. So please be patient. Okay, if anyone is having any question regarding any laboratory facility anyone wants to avail, you can please ask on this platform.
The person who arrives.
Our next speaker is coming in just 5 to 7 minutes. Please, please have some patience. Sorry for that. And if anyone wants any open discussion, you are free to do, please.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Uh, so please
Thank you.
make your phone straight. It is,
I,
yes, now it is. It is.
okay, okay, thank you. Basically, these are the the products of SHG, different SHG. In MIT group, approx 7,000 plus SHG ye registered with us. Through this ye 7,000, we working with 442 SHGs, and these SHGs have work in different sectors, like in pottery, in making dhupbatti, diyabatti, disposable glass, these kind of handlooms, bioenzymes, handicrafts, sports goods, in handicraft, jewelry making, idol sculpture making, and this one is the most innovative product made by SHGs through cow dung. This is the sculpture of cow dung of Akhand Bharat. Also, this is made by SHGs. This is the all handicraft item. Also, SHGs working on slipper making, footwear. They have machines, and you cut the sheets and sell in Meerut. Also, these all a product of foods like vinegar, honey, pickles, spices. This is the spices. These all are worked by SHGs of the Tauli village of Meerut, uh, basically. And we have handhold from these all SHGs, because SSG's product is good, but branding and marketing, they have facing some problems. That's why we are helping him. Also, with us, uh, Dr. Shikha Daman, already available in this portal. Uh, we are working with together. These the products of home cleaning, and these products for women. Ma'am, anything else? Madhuri ma'am. Hello. Hello, Shikha madam.
Yeah, hi, Dr. Swapan.
Hello,
Good
madam. Hello,
afternoon.
hello.
Yes, good afternoon. I think Shikha ma'am had joined.
Yeah,
Yes.
hello everyone.
Yes, she has
Okay.
joined.
Okay. Okay, so I would like to introduce Dr. Shikha. She is having 20 plus years of experience in the health research and public health science. She is a postdoctorate in biomedical research, USA, with a PhD in microbiology. And she is having a very kind of, actually, she is devoted to a very good work. And she is a Nobelist. She is working for many domains for the upliftment of the girl child, as well as work for the various campaigns which is introduced by the government of India, that is the malaria vaccines in some kind of remote areas. She had devoted many of her career oriented years with such conscious pursuit, with a passion to change the lives of the normal people. And I'm very much privileged and feeling very honored to welcome her in this platform, and hoping that this session would be very informative for our participants. And I would like to request ma'am to please continue.
Thank you so much for the kind introduction. Is my voice audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much for the kind introduction and a warm welcome to all the participants. I would say congratulations to all of you because you have taken upon yourself to do this DST sponsored technology entrepreneurship development program. So good luck to each and every one of you. And I thank Merit Institute of Technology and Merit Udyami Foundation for giving me the opportunity today to be present here, to be talking about how to find out pre-feasibility of a project and what is a preliminary project report. So let's have it an interactive session. You can stop me if there are any questions. You can stop on any slide and I'll be happy to take questions over chat also. Better would be if we keep it interactive so that I also get a positive feedback that you are understanding, or if there are issues or questions which I can solve, that would be very nice. So, to begin and to set the tone, what do we mean by pre feasibility? Now, pre feasibility is about if you have an idea, is that idea worth taking forward? Is it possible? Is it impossible? So, a pre feasibility of a project helps us to determine certain parameters whether the idea or the project merits to be taken forward. Now, that would be in terms of technical, financial, or as we see as I take this session, what all different parameters we judge during pre feasibility that helps us to decide the viability of taking forward a project. Is the definition clear? Probably can the guest unmute themselves, or how do you want to take it forward? Because MIT, I would want it to be a responsive two-way interaction. So are their mics unmuted? Okay, please feel free to ask any question or give a thumbs up or just give some reaction. Okay, so that was to set the tone. What is pre-feasibility? Now let's talk about how a project matures over 4 phases. We all have ideas. Ideas come from our daily life or from a problem we are trying to solve. So when we are at ideation stage, we are brainstorming to see what ideas work. Right. So if you see down here, you could have number of possible ideas which you think are worth taking forward. Now, what happens during second phase of a project is you start developing the concept. Concept phase is when you talk about a pre-feasibility study and a feasibility study. Now, pre-feasibility study I've explained, feasibility is actually a finer version of a pre-feasibility that helps you choose the best option. And the difference between pre-feasibility and feasibility is largely that in feasibility study we are more into the financial aspects of it so that we can go for possible funding. So these are the two major differences between pre-feasibility and feasibility while you are developing a concept. Now once this is final, your feasibility has been done, you go ahead, raise money, and you develop a business plan. So while you're doing business development, you go for a validation stage. You had an idea, you have proven that it is feasible to take it forward, and then you do a testing, a validation. So, that helps you to do a design freeze, to validate under certain parameters, under simulations to know that your prototype or your idea works. And once you have done that, the last phase of your project is, of course, the execution of the project. to implement the project. If you see down here at the idea stage, you had a lot of ideas. Your concept development stage, that is the pre-feasibility and the feasibility study, helped you narrow down to certain options. While business development, while you developed a business plan, you did a validation study, you have narrowed down to more finer ideas. And then you raise funding during business development and then go ahead and implement or execute the study. So these are four phases over a project maturity cycle, right? So basically, what is pre-feasibility study helping us to do? Like I said, it helps reduce the number of options that you can choose with regards to an idea or a concept to take it forward. By doing a pre-feasibility study, we ultimately save time and money as we take forward only the most promising option, right? Moving on, pre-feasibility helps us to choose whether it is possible or impossible. If you want to understand pre-feasibility term, so just remember it helps you to choose the possibilities to take the project forward, or it is impossible to take the project forward, right? So you measure the viability of the project with respect to the real world challenges. This will become more clear as we go further down during the presentation, right? So you evaluate all obstacles, all issues with regards to operations, finances that would hamper you taking the project forward. So that is why you do a pre-feasibility study to assess what all is best possible to take forward, which is best possible to succeed, right? Okay, now what questions does a pre-feasibility study answer? So, by doing a pre-feasibility study, you are answering the question whether your financial projections or the revenue you think would be required to take an idea forward, is it worth, right? Or are there any regulatory issues that may hamper your project going forward? Is it economically and financially viable to go further? And how is your project going to affect the environment and the social nature of it, social aspects of it, and also the risk and uncertainties connected with your idea. So, this is why we design a pre feasibility study to provide an answer to ourselves and our funders whether the idea which you are passionate about should be taken forward or not. Now, what are the benefits of a pre-feasibility study? It helps you define and refine your business idea, because you may be thinking this is something which you have conceptualized. Probably you want to solve a waste to value problem. But do you think your idea is feasible to work in the given geography? Are they conducive government structure, taxation, subsidy, and other things which will help you take your business forward? Right? So you go and do a market study. So I guess this session has been taken very well by Dr. Ankur yesterday. So you all are aware about the methodology to do a market study. So I will also touch upon how you do research to see if your idea is viable as part of your pre-feasibility study. Now, pre-feasibility study helps you identify your target markets. It helps you assess who are your competitors, how your product would fit in presence of competition. Now, please understand having competition is good, because a customer or a client will be interested in your product or your solution or your technology if you can provide and relate your idea, your prototype, or your solution to your unique selling proposition, your value proposition. So that helps you stand out in presence of a competitive landscape. Now, these are certain terms you're going to learn as you go along this course, right? During a pre-feasibility study, you also get an understanding of your financial requirement. What would be the startup cost? What would be the operational cost? How much time you will need to turn profitable? And why would others be interested to fund your idea? So, all these get clear once you do a pre-feasibility study, right? It helps you to shape up your business plan, and of course, it reduces the risk of failure. Moving forward, now I just want to keep reiterating these issues again because pre feasibility is something that you get out of research. It is based on study, the market analysis, the data collection, which you do to put in a pre feasibility report. So, this slide talks about how research is important during a pre feasibility study. So you do a market research to understand what is the potential market of your product or the service which you want to offer. Who are your potential customers? Where are they located? In which geography are they located? What are their needs and wants? What are the competitors offering in the same space? How will you price your product, right? Because end of it, you all are entrepreneurs. For some reason, you want your venture, you want your business to return some profit to you and do good to the society in turn. So that is what every entrepreneur hopes to achieve. So that is what you start gathering information through research, right? And then you also research about what are the risks and uncertainties associated with your business idea, right? And what are the possible ways to mitigate and take your idea forward. So, this is why research is very important when you're writing a pre feasibility report and doing a pre feasibility study. Is that clear? Any questions so far? Okay, moving forward, now I want to go into the nuts and bolts of how a pre feasibility report is prepared, right? Okay, now what would be a contents of a pre-feasibility report? I am going over because I've talked about what are the benefits, what is a pre-feasibility study, and now I'm going to talk about what all goes into writing a pre-feasibility report. First of all, it's about the executive summary because you have identified an idea, you are trying to see an unmet need. Now, unmet need could be social, environmental, or some commercial project you want to develop. Like I said, some environment friendly project, creating value out of waste, or you want to solve certain issues, something like a waste accumulation. You want to go from a launch products which don't use plastics, which use renewable sources of energy. These are all our unmet need, or it is a health need. If you're developing a diagnostics, if you're developing a AI solution for a particular area. So you have to define what unmet needs are you trying to solve. Now, how to define the pain points or the unmet need are also topics of a separate discussion. Here I would just touch upon that because you are all entrepreneurs, you have thought of an idea to take it forward, so you should be the best person to able to say why you identify with the idea, which is the unmet need you're trying to solve. Why is your idea important? And while you're writing the executive summary, it is good to say why your team is competent enough to take the idea forward and what are your financial projections, right? And then moving further, when you're writing a pre-feasibility report, you talk about again the project background and scope, and here your market analysis comes into depth, that which market you're targeting, which pie of the market share you plan to capture. So this is just a framework which I am presenting regards to concept of a free pre-feasibility report. We are going to take each and every aspect in detail further on with examples, right? Then your technical aspects, resources and operations will also be described in your pre-feasibility report in detail. So you talk about which teams you require, what will be the competency of the manpower, what raw materials you require for to take your idea forward, what facilities. So like if you are doing a fermentation facility, you want to prepare some beer or prepare some healthy food drink. So basically, which facilities or which fermentation equipment and where are these facilities located, you're going to talk about it, and how you're going to talk about, and then you're going to talk about the logistics of your idea, that how will you procure the raw material, how will you transport your raw material to this facility, right? And then how will you go about marketing your product. So all these technical, resource required and operational aspects go into preparing a pre-feasibility report. An important aspect of a pre-feasibility report is about the financial pre-feasibility. Like I said, in a pre-feasibility, you just give projections. Like what would be your project setup cost? Like you would have heard these terms as capex, OPEX. What would you need for capital investment? Are you going to buy some equipment? Are you going to buy, or you're going to rent out some facilities? How are you going to operate? How many manpower you're going to need? How do you plan to expand your team? So it's all about financial projections that should come in a part of your financial viability during your pre-feasibility study. Now, you all are entrepreneurs, and you would have, while doing or thinking about your idea or taking it forward, you would have encountered terms like environment aspects, uh, political aspects, social and legal aspects. So, when you are doing a pre-feasibility study, it is important that you talk about the impact of your idea or taking forward your idea. Like, will it generate some environmental waste? Will it lead to generation of noise, odor? It will lead to some wildlife endangerment. Now, there are certain projects in which people are trying to do some construction, develop some new facility. So, if you have cleared forest, does it endanger wildlife? So, all these aspects, environmental aspects, right? Social aspect. Will your idea, or will your setting up a facility, or will your idea put the other local activities in conflict? Something like if somebody is doing agriculture or fishing, and if you want to take up that land for your work, or you are going to become competitors to that locals with your new product launch. So, all these social aspects need to come in, because they might be in the geographies which you want to operate. There might be reluctance from local stakeholders, which might have a political say. So, these political, environment, social, and legal aspects with regards to taxation, subsidy, what government is interested in right now, how it may affect your, if effect, like if government is interested in renewable energy, in solar energy. So, if your venture involves a component of renewable energy, so, you can go forward and avail all those subsidies. So, it is always good to know where you want to operate, the different aspects which are related to political, environment, social, and legal. And these also help you decide if your idea is worth, or it will be fruitful to take it forward, right? Is it clear? Any questions so far? Okay, then you also talk about risk. Now, when you talk about political environment, social, technical, and legal aspects, you're going to actually see that there are certain risks you are going to encounter. So, if you have to be viable technology wise and financial wise, you need to do a risk assessment also, right? Now risk could be with regards to market, your competitors, your pricing, if you're going to employ labor in your facility, more additional manpower, if you're going to, your end product is discharged into the environment, will it needs to be taken care of before you discharge the effluent in the environment? Like we come across certain startups which have taken up want to do some making leather from fungal hyphae. So are they releasing some waste material, or they releasing certain dyes in the environment? So all that risk you need to assess, because pollution board certification would be required that you are also environment friendly enterprise, right? Now other risk which you can encounter is with regards to what taxes you have to pay, what subsidies you can get, or if it involves IT or a software, there would also be issues or risk with regards to cyber security threats. How do you keep your data protected? How do you prevent a malware from accessing your data? How do you prevent a cyber attack? So these are all risk. And lastly, you would conclude your pre-feasibility report by talking about why you have decided, based on all the assessment which you have done, that is your idea technically and financially moving forward or not. So this is a very general framework of a pre-feasibility report, but depending on the idea you want to take forward, this is just a guidance. You can have other sections as well. You can also attach in appendix the approvals which you have in place, the facilities which you have decided to use, or some government approvals to set up this particular enterprise. All that can also go, and you can make this pre-feasibility report as per your idea, but largely it should cover these points, right? Moving further, now I said, now I'll touch upon all these different aspects that will go into your pre-feasibility report. So now let's have an example. If you're developing a diagnostic test for COVID, so do you know your market? Is it the medical device market you are targeting? Yes. So what do your customers need? They require a diagnostic test for COVID. Where are these customers going to buy your service? Are they going to assess your service online, or it's a self-test kit, or they are going to go to a laboratory to get tested, right? So these aspects you need to know if you want to know about your market opportunity. And like in my example, I was developing a test for COVID. So who are my other competitors? My other competitors are the manufacturers who are developing this diagnostic for COVID. So how do you stand out to be able to survive among this competition, right? And will you be able to enter new markets? During COVID time, you all will appreciate, we saw that once self-test kits came, people preferred them rather than going to the laboratory to get a test for COVID. So it's basically how you position your product so that you are able to enter our already existing market. This is what needs to bring out and researched by you when you do a pre-feasibility assessment. And you also need to understand, is the market growing? Now if I go back to my COVID example, is that market growing? Is it? Are people still going for COVID tests? Probably yes, but the demand has decreased drastically. Now we just hear some sporadic COVID incidents and sporadic COVID testing. But please understand that the market is not growing, the need for such diagnostic will always be there. So, you want to then not only have a test for COVID, then you want to have tests for some other disease also, to survive in this competitive market. So, finding market and opportunity, market analysis, it cannot be done one time. So, it should be a real time, evolving process to know which chunk or which niche of the market you can capture, right? How is your competition surviving there? How can you do better? And please don't say I will price my product or service less. Having low price may not give you the competitive advantage always. So when you talk about how you can survive in a existing market, you talk about what better your product offers. Something like in the COVID example, when people were going out of their home to get tested, when a product with self testing, which people could do in the comfort of your home, was available, it did very well. So, what better you're offering so that you get an edge in the market over your competitors, right? Will you do better after sales services? Something like now people saw that these COVID diagnostic tests gave a lot of invalids, or there was a lot of confusion about how to read the test result. So, would you give a customer support, or would you give a online support, or will you give a software support where people can scan their test results and get feedback about the result? Think about that. Think about how you can be better. It's a self-test kit, but how you can be better is you are providing support for people to read the reports online. You are providing support for people who have taken a test and are confused about the test results to call you at a helpline. So, this is how these are certain examples in which you can be better. So these are your ideas, you're all entrepreneurs. So please think through, do research how you can be better, like which I hope I tried to explain with the COVID diagnostic test. Right? And then when I stick to this COVID diagnostic test itself, where are my customers? So for you, the customers are all people of any age group who want to take a COVID test. Where are they located? Are they located in rural or urban cities? Are they in urban areas? Are they located in cities? They are located in metros. So that will also define accessibility to your test, right? So let's talk. Here also I want to talk about an interesting case study, because this is what I come across. Because we come across a lot of ideas where the innovators want to take forward some products for women health and hygiene. They want to develop some reusable sanitary pads, right? So when we ask them what is their total market size, so they say our total market is all mensurating women. But here I would want to say, please don't think like that. Your total market is not the mensurating woman. Your total market is the number of mensurating women in the geography you want to operate, to which you can reach out to. Right? So be clear when you talk about your TAM, SAM, and SOM. These are also terms you will understand more in depth when you talk about your business plan development. So these are the things we request the entrepreneurs to be clear about. I would also give you an example of somebody entrepreneur who was developing an idea for a better baby food. So he gave that my whole market is addressable market is infants or babies who would eat this particular product. But then he doesn't have access to all these people. So be realistic about your market opportunity. Be realistic about which market size you can capture, which markets you are addressing. So these are very key areas in your pre-feasibility study we have to think about And in your business plan, you're going to keep refining. Now, pre-feasibility you have done once to come to an idea, but then your business development is when you keep refining, when you keep understanding the market scenario, what the customer wants, what the competition is doing, and your business plan also keeps growing along your entrepreneur journey as you grow, right? So don't think you do it once in a lifetime of your enterprise. These are continuously to be done, continuously to see what the market's opportunity is, where your customers are. Because here I would like to also say a thing about customer interest change. I would give a very simple example here. Now, earlier, we all have mobile phones. Now, earlier the battery was lasting, say, few hours, but now we all want mobile phones with longer battery life. So, if somebody comes with a better mobile phone with a better battery, don't you think he has an edge his competitors? The customers would be loyal to a particular brand. But once they see that another market opportunity has come where a new product with a better or a battery that lasts 2 to 3 days is available, don't you think the customer interest will change to that brand? So, my thought today is to stimulate your thinking, how you need to define your market opportunity, and one solution does not fit everything. So, you have to keep thinking, keep researching, keep reading to understand how your idea can be better, and that is how you do market research, and then you put it in your free pre-feasibility report, right? Now, how to assess your target markets? Now, I've already given you examples of entrepreneurs trying to develop a sanitary napkin, or entrepreneur trying to develop a COVID test kit, and an entrepreneur trying to develop a new formula for a baby feed. So, who are your customers? What is the demand of your product or service? What is the market size, and how much of that market can you capture? Location of your customers, I already said where they're located. So, now another aspect is how you plan to reach to your customers. Now, if your customers are sitting in villages, are you going to use technology or probably WhatsApp or social media? Or if your customers are sitting in cities, would you use a different approach, or you will again use WhatsApp and social media to reach them? Or please remember, a very important way to reach your audience who is in rural part of India is through community radio, community television. Cities are more catching up, villages also catching up to social media. But please realize, in our villages, there are still concepts of community radio, community television, and local newspapers. So, if you want to reach your audience in rural India, you have to take into account these medium to reach, in addition to promotion on WhatsApp and social media. So, you are entrepreneurs, it's your story, you are passionate about it. So, it is how you weave your story, how you assess your markets, right? And then what are the economic indicators of the people you are targeting? Will they be able to afford a product? Please remember, here we have all sort of simple phones, we have smartphones, we also have high end phones. And if you tell me, or if I ask you, there's always demand for a high end phone because that is giving more features. So while I say low cost is not the factor for to make you survive, because people are there willing to pay more for more features, for better services, for after sales, for things they relate to, right? So understanding is your customer is how much money they are going to put in your product or your service. This you also have to find. And how do you do that? There are many methods like surveys, focused group discussions, reach out to people what they want in a product, what they're looking for in a product. So all these sessions will also be included during this course. So there are many ways to reach out, there are many ways to find what interests your customer. And simplest, if you ask me, is to do a survey, to create a survey, float it around on WhatsApp, gather feedback from people, and please take this survey to larger audience. If you just restrict it to your friends and family, they'll give you biased opinion. So reach out to expert, connect to MIT, connect to Merit Udyami Foundation. Tell them to take your survey to experts who can actually give you a good feedback about what they would desire in a particular product. So you get better feedback. This is some discussion we come across. Collecting feedbacks from friends and family may always not be accurate. So reach out to experts. If you want to develop a diagnostic test, reach out to clinicians, reach out to people, healthcare workers, reach out. This is also called voice of customer. You want to understand what your customer wants. Your product will be successful if there's a customer and a market for it. Now all these go into your pre-feasibility report. And then, like I said, if there are people who are willing to buy your product, how competitively are you price your product? So this is all about assessment of your target markets, where your customers are, what are their buying preferences, what is their buying power. That all helps you decide how you price your product. Because in the pre-feasibility study, you have to give your financial projections. So please do a market study, do research, develop survey questionnaire, reach out to experts. This helps you to be very sure that okay, there is a market, there could be a market fit of your product, people would want your product, and then it is worth taking forward, right? Now let's talk about the operational aspects which will go into your pre-feasibility study. Now, like I say, if you're making a fermented product, if you're making, like Dr. Swapan was showing you, so, how do you make those bioenzymes? What facilities you would need? Would you require an automated bottling facility? Would you require an automated capping facility? I am coming because I review a lot of proposals. I'm sitting on a lot of committees where people are coming, giving us with ideas where it is hands free. Lot of thing is being done by robotics through AI. So these are the things, these are catching up. So please catch up to what is latest happening around. This is the digital era, this is the AI era. Try to do all those things, try to see where you can set up your facility, what equipment you would require. If you want to do it robotics, if you want to do a bottling plant that is fully automatic, so that you bottle and pack your finished product, so it will have cost. The product may look fancier, you may fancy a very hands free sophisticated bottling facility, but please remember, it will have cost. So that is a key operational aspect you want to consider while you're doing your pre-feasibility study, right? Okay, and what raw materials you would need. So like I'm again talking about this bottling facility. So do you want to pack your product in plastic bottles, or you want to be environment friendly and pack your product in glass bottles? Right? These are the questions you need to think and find answers during your pre-feasibility, because everything would have a cost, and plastic disposal would be an environmental hazard also. To be an environment friendly, environment conscious enterprise, why don't you think about bottling in glass bottles only? Why don't you think about having your finished product in environment friendly options? Something like a paper bag. Now, there are good quality paper bags also available. Don't go for the polythene or the plastic packaging. Okay, you may argue that they are virgin and biodegradable plastics. Yes, but then take a conscious decision very early on to use them, right? And something like if you are making pickles, if you are making jams, jellies, why don't you bottle them to begin with in glass bottles itself? So that idea has to seed in you today. And if I'm able to help you think how to be more environmentally conscious, I think I would have done my job today, right? And whatever idea you think, you have to see where the suppliers are. Because when I tell people please use environment friendly packaging, they say we don't have many options available in our geography where we work. Something like if I say people sitting in NCR, National Capital Region, to a particular glass manufacturer. But everybody may not be able to get linked to a glass manufacturer in their area. So, are they willing to spend money to transport this packaging, the glass packaging material to their facility? So, please, you have to agreed. You have decided to be environment friendly. You want to do bottling in glass bottles, do packaging in glass bottles. But will you incur more transportation cost in getting and procuring these glass bottles? Please think about it, because every action will have a cost implication, right? And you want to be competitive, you want to price your product so that you can make some profit out of it. You want to be environment friendly, you want to make your packaging also attractive. So you have to weigh all these pros and cons, right? And then please remember, if you have bottled or packaged your product in a glass container, then you will have to be very careful about packaging it. The finished product, I'm saying, if you have to send it to your customer, you may have to pay extra for logistics, for transportation costs. Earlier I was talking about the cost to bring the empty glass bottles to you. Now I'm talking about there'll be further expenses to ship this handle with care packaging, glass bottle packaging. So please think everything has a cost implication, right? So what distribution channels are you going to take? Or what other triple layer packaging you would require so that these glass bottles don't break? Will that add to your cost? This is what my job is, to help you think what goes in a pre-feasibility study, right? And then say if you have paid 40 rupees for a 1 kg glass bottle, do you think your customers are willing to pay you? Of course you're going to charge that 40 rupees when you sell your product, and probably that will make your product little costly as compared to a product which is packaged in a plastic bottle, because the plastic bottle may be cheaper. So think, think. These are all my job today, is to help you think, right? Are there customers who are willing to pay? And then where are these customers, right? Okay, now let's talk about how flexible you are. You want to be environment friendly. So think about, you've got these bottles, you've packed your product in these bottles, now you sell them to customers. Now what are these customers going to do after they have consumed your product in those glass bottles? So do you have something to collect it back from your customers? Let it stay with them? Are they going to recycle it? All interesting stories, because we have seen some entrepreneurs who have also linked to, let me tell you something, there's a startup which supplies fresh cow milk in glass bottles, right? So they have a practice of taking these glass bottles empty glass bottles back the next day. So, that builds in a value chain that helps you save buy new inventory. So, but if you're going to sell some candied fruits, jams, or jellies, are you going to collect those bottles back from your customers? Questions to think about. That is pre-feasibility. How feasible your idea is. I want to be environment friendly. I'll pack it in glass bottles. But then what happens? I have incurred a lot of cost to buy a glass bottle. But then what will be the customer? What will customer do? Have I made a process to collect those bottles back? That also brings in a brand loyalty. Please understand, your success is also having repeat customers. If you assure your customers, once you are packed uh, uh, murabba which you have sold, for example, in a glass bottle, in a glass jar, you are going, if they return it to you, you're going to give them discount on the next purchase. Think, lot of innovation is there, how to be most cost conscious and cost effective, right? That is about being flexibility with regards to where you operate. Do you have that flexibility? That will come in your pre-feasibility report, right? And like I've already said, this glass bottle was a unique thing for you. So you'll have to think of the logistic of how these glass bottles get returned to you. So this is what I'm trying to say. All these are part of your pre-feasibility, right? And now, again, sticking to these glass bottle examples, you would need staff to bottle it, to fill it, to dispense it, to take it to the customer, to take it back from the customer, right? If you're planning that cycle. So, what kind of expertise are you looking for in your people? Right? You would also think about what would be the cost, how further you want to expand your business. Do you want to do your business only to few households in the geography where you operate, or you want to reach to a lot of states in the country? That will also have an implication of how many manpower you would want to recruit, right? And what kind of training, expertise would it require? All these have a cost implication. When you talk about operations, everything is about costing, right? Now let's talk about the sweet finances. I've covered all these aspects, but I try to put these 10 things here so that while you are making your pre feasibility, and when you're talking about financial feasibility, please ensure you have accounted these 10 things. What are these 10 things? The cost of goods and services, right? Raw materials, how are you going to procure them, how you're going to bottle them, ship them, logistics, procurement, supply, inventory. How much are you going to spend on it? If you're going to keep an online inventory and not only paper books, there could be paid software. You would need expertise in people who can do that data entry. Everything you need to think about, because all have cost implication. Now, if you're going to rent out facilities, or you're going to get incubated uh, someplace, or you're going to have a co-working space, you will incur cost, right? You'll have to pay salaries to people. You'll have to put in money for marketing, like social media, digital outreach. Everything will involve time and money, right? You want to make brochures, you want to distribute your brochures, you want to do some print media, you want to do a radio spot, you want to talk about your product in commercials. Every marketing aspect has a cost to it. And please don't say, because I come across entrepreneurs and startups who say we don't have a marketing person. Here, I would like to say marketing is very important. How would your customers know where you are? So, when you're doing a projection, please put money for marketing. Otherwise, you will be very good, but you will need resources and money to spread the good word. Word of mouth can help you expand to an extent. But if you go aggressive with regards to your marketing, and which also will be a session in this course, will help you to reach out to more customers, to reach out to more markets, right? And then if you're going to do some insurance of the employees or of the product, this is something we tend to forget. So I've listed it as fifth point. Estimating your expenses, think about insurance. Would your products need to be insured? Would your employees need to be insured? Right? Think maybe all these things are not valid for you with your idea. But here, my job today is to tell you these are the 10 things you should be keeping in mind when you talk about estimating your expenses in a pre-feasibility report. Right? And then there'll be taxes you'll have to pay to the government. We know about GST, we know about IGST, we know about state GST. Everything will have a cost implications. Like I prepare a lot of budgets for development sector. I run a lot of projects for the development sector. This is something which I've painfully learned because I always used to forget adding GST. Right? So I always had to give GST from my other technical aspects. Please remember your GST taxes have to be budgeted separately when you're doing your finances, because that is something you have to pay to the government, to the state you are operating in, interstate. It would be very good to have information on financial management for yourself and for your enterprise. It really helps. This is something we all tend to ignore. That have some basic idea and then have finance consultants to help you, because we cannot have all acumen within ourselves, but then we can reach out to people who can help us, like MIT Institute, MITMeerut Udyami Foundation. They can help you link to experts who can help you do all these plannings, right? And then if you're buying instruments, equipment, supplies, raw material, inventory management, would you be buying enough inventory? Would you require a warehouse? Think, because buying in bulk will save you cost. But then you have to have place to store those bulk supplies. Where are you going to store it? Everything you cannot store in your house or in your friend's house. When you're thinking about a commercial enterprise, think about viable solutions, right? It's always good to think about all these costs, because these all prevent you from becoming profitable down the line. During pre-feasibility, if you estimate your expenses, if you have thought about all the possible expenses you're going to incur in taking your product to a successful implementation, you need to think, right? I hope this is clear. And this is also a very good takeaway message from today's session, because costs, certain things we know, certain things are hidden. Like I told my example, I always used to forget GST. So that always, when I put a proposal to a funder, it always killed my activity cost, because then I had to account for GST from my activity cost. But now I know from which heads I have to put GST. I have to budget TDS, taxes deducted at source. So now I'm careful. So financial planning, reaching out to financial experts, having a CA, there's no harm. These are good investments. Put them in your financial projection. Put a financial consultant in your financial projection. Why not? I have started doing that in all my projects. It keeps me face. I have an in-house person to discuss my finances, in-house person to know if all statutory compliances are met. Believe me, it makes your life easy. So far, we talked about market opportunity. The markets are huge. There is competition. How you fit in, which is your pie in the market. Operational, Where are the raw materials? What processes you will use? Which people you will fire? What are the financial implications? And organizations is all about people, right? So all this analysis has to come in your pre-feasibility study and its report. I have also touched upon the political environment, how interested the government is in your idea. The government is promoting solar didis. The government is giving subsidies with regards to so many new incentives. There are so many benefits to female entrepreneurs. There are so many taxation benefits if you enter certain zones or certain geographies in the country to set up your enterprise. Go with the tide, go with the political will, go with what the government is supporting. Somewhere or there, you will fit in. There are also aspects with regards to carbon credits, green credits. Government is supporting so much when it comes to organic farming, to organic sustainable solutions. Please find out what government aspect benefits you. It will really help you. Know the local voices, know what the people need in their local environment. That is all about market research, getting to know your markets better, learning more about if you're not releasing a waste to the environment. You are be a responsible citizen. Please treat your waste before releasing it to a water body. That is the responsibility of each and every one of us to leave a better, greener planet for our children. So, all these aspects need to come in your pre-feasibility. Now, all these political environment, social and legal also are part of your risk assessment, because they will also be helping you to take your idea forward, or they may be providing some hurdles in the way, which I've also explained, like, are you generating local environment? Will the local will be with you? Are you using local resources? Are you using local manpower? That helps you give a impetus in your geographies. Use the local people, create livelihoods, use local resources. So the local community, local political scenario will also be supportive of your ideas, right? Risk. It's always good to do a matrix. Which is a bigger risk? What is the likelihood it will not occur? So try to make a matrix. I'm sure these slides will be shared with you, or you can click a picture of this slide. This is very important because, certain risks which fall in the category of severity and likelihood, which are in the brown zone, which are significant and severe, may have a damaging effect on your business, may have a damaging effect on your financial projections. You need to be aware of them. Something like what COVID did, it was a severe risk. The likelihood was very high during when COVID was prevailing. COVID derailed so much. COVID is something because all of us can relate. That is the likelihood and severity of the risk which affected everyone. I like to give as an example. But your risk would be government may do a ban on effluents which you are discharging, may stop your enterprise due to labor issues, due to whatever issues. If you find the risk is severe and there's a likelihood it will occur, please solve it before you go forward, because that is what is going to affect your business development and implementation phase. Please click a picture. Please have this slide with you. This is something a matter of you develop making these documents, you develop doing risk assessment. If you read more, if you just Google the word risk assessment, you'll find more ways to mitigate risk, to overcome risk, to categorize your risk with regards to how I've tried to put it here. Right? If you know your risk, then only you will take measures to mitigate, that is to resolve it, to overcome it. That is important aspect of your pre-feasibility study. Right? Let's come back to it. Pre-feasibility is all about financial analysis, where geographies you would operate, what is the political environment, what do the locals want, where are the markets, where are your customers located, how you're going to meet the supply and demand, and where you wish to set up your enterprise. So pre-feasibility is all about these aspects, right? Achieve your goals, do your research, don't be afraid to ask for help, be realistic about your goals, be prepared for some bumps in the road. An entrepreneur is someone who endures lot of pain, lot of persistence, puts in lot of their time, hard work, and also money. But success is always sweeter in the end. This is my favorite slide. I always like to end my presentations with this slide. We all have setbacks. They should not hamper you from trying and achieving success. The biggest asset in the world is your mindset, how you see a problem, how you want to overcome it, how you want to be successful. Your mind is your biggest asset with your mindset, right? And what will be the consequences? However difficult a pre-feasibility report or this session be, always commit to choose happiness in your life, because happiness is an inside job. Only you are responsible for your happiness. And with that, I would like to end. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shikha Dhawan ma'am, for providing so insightful and motivational lecture. So it has provided us with in-depth knowledge to all regarding pre-feasibility of a project by preliminary project report. So now I would like to open up this session for question and answers. So everyone is invited here to ask question regarding any confusion or any problem regarding the topic which has been delivered and the previous topic also. So if anyone is having any problem, please, this is now open domain to ask any question. Okay, I think there is no question from anyone. So now I would like to give a vote of thanks to Shikha ma'am and Prashant sir, who has given, you both has given a very nice lecture for our two topics. So thank you so much, Shikha ma'am, for accepting our request and coming in such short of time with such a motivational and insightful lecture. So I would like to thank all the participants here also. So we have completed today the day fourth of our technology entrepreneurship development program. So we will be continuing tomorrow for the different time slots for these sessions. So I would like to thank all the participants for your patience and for your patient listening. Thank you so much, all of you. Thank you so much once again, Shikha ma'am. Thank you so much, Prashant sir, for both lectures. So thank you all. Goodbye, everyone. Yeah, Shikha ma'am, you
Thank
want
you.
to say?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Madhuri and Dr. Ankur, for having me. And all the best to the esteemed audience as well. Thank you, everyone. Bye
Thank you
bye.
so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. Ma'am. Thank you so much, everyone.